The 2K Sports pregame show, sponsored by Kia.
Greetings and welcome to 2K Sports. I rarely say greetings, but I just did. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, alongside Kenny and Shaq. Tonight, it's the Houston Rockets as they'll be playing against the San Antonio Spurs. So for San Antonio, their last game, a win against the Pelicans. They're up there in third place in the Western Conference, very close to the position they were in when last season came to a close. Can we talk about Kawhi Leonard, fellas? One of the main pillars for his team. Obviously, great on defense. Is he somebody you can build the team around?
Well, he isn't flashy, but he's starting to put up elite numbers for sure.
Not that I'm a defense player, but I play with a lot of defense players. His defense is what pushes him to that superstar tier. This guy can work you at both ends. Still very young, not even close to his prime yet, Kenny.
Thanks for joining us as we go courtside now with Kevin Harlan for the call.
Rockets here at home in this Western Conference matchup live here in Houston. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? This is Kevin Harlan, and joining me tonight, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, with our Hall of Famer David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. And, of course, Rudy Gay, coaches and fans enjoying seeing how he fits into the game plan and lineup here with his new team.
Man, that trade is something that has just electrified this entire fan base, the players, the people working for the organization. They think it may be that piece of the puzzle necessary to finally get this team over the hump.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, the development of Kawhi Leonard and the addition of LaMarcus Aldridge have energized the vets on this team and extended the Spurs window. Tony Parker said, it definitely helps that Kawhi and LaMarcus are here and playing great. It makes me want to be here to help all the young guys. It's such a great family and such a great atmosphere that it makes you want to stay. Kevin?
Thanks, DA. The players who are part of that organization seem to want to stay in San Antonio. And both these teams certainly chomping at the bit for tonight's game. Chris, this is a big one.
I love it. Two conference rivals looking to prove something. I mean, these are the games where you measure yourself.
Yes.
Boys, nice night.
Tip-off goes to Houston. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Green, the tried and tested backcourt. Leonard and Aldridge, the two stars at the 3 and the 4. And it's Gasol and at the pivot, manning the middle. Parker with the steal. In transition, here come the Spurs. It's rebounded by Houston. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was amazed at their execution. No matter how loud the arena got, they remained calm and in control. He truly has that unique blend of passion and skill. Does major damage on the offensive glass.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And I think it's safe to say at this point that Chris Paul is one of the all-time greats at that point guard position. Just so strong in his ability to lead a team both offensively and defensively. And, you know, you get everything you want from him as a lead guard. I mean, he's not afraid of the big moment. Also willing to be that vocal leader that you often need at times. Let's see if ultimately he can be rewarded with a chance to play for a championship.
And Paul drills both of them. You talk about Paul as one of the great point guards. He led the way in the NBA for a long time as it became a more guard-centric league. And you know all about guard play.
Yeah, great point. And you talk to the other guards around the NBA, and they'll recognize Paul as a pathfinder for this generation. Everyone admires his competitiveness and attention to detail. And when it's all said and done, history will look kindly on his accomplishments.
Now Parker following Chris Paul's three-point attempt. Here's Aldridge. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
You can't give him that shot. A few open looks are all it takes to get him in the zone.
And that's the last thing the defense wants to happen. You don't need to get him hot out there because the basket just opens up that much more.
Here is Paul following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. And here's Anderson from the arc. Good on the triple. Anderson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Just an average shooter from range. Squares up nicely on that one.
Parker with it. He's picked up by Ariza. Parker outside. Nifty move. And there's the nice layup by Leonard. Leonard's got his first 2 points of the night.
And he's starting to get what he wants here early and often. Nice move.
Oh, this could be an early sign of an explosive game for him. You have to keep your eye on him if you're the defense.
The offensive rebound. Gordon. Great D that time from Green.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Got a piece of it.
Oh, tremendous reach on the block by Ariza, making a real effort on defense.
He doesn't hit that one. Great D that time from Leonard. There's the triple, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 3 assists in the game. Houston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Paul kicks to Gordon. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Here's Parker. He's coming off a 13-point game against New Orleans.
Yeah, but what about the passing? Crisp, decisive. He racked up a ton of assists, impacted the game in a number of ways.
Here's Paul after Pau Gasol's bucket. Nene, the screen. And it's Ariza in the corner. Passes it to Anderson. To halt the run, Nene. Great positioning on the putback.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
For San Antonio, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Aldridge with a screen on Paul. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Feeds it to Leonard. It's up a 3, and again, it's the Spurs from deep.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Anderson, a screen on Parker. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Well, one thing that Chris Paul has always been known for is his presence, Greg, on the defensive end. Just a smart and fundamentally sound defender who knows certainly how to disrupt a ball handler.
No doubt. In the modern NBA, there are so many guards that can beat you one-on-one. But Paul makes your shots tougher than probably anybody else in the league. Still, with the quick hands, he will come up with more than his fair share of steals.
Free throw, good, Paul. At this point, Chris, would you say it is safe to say that you can see who the true contenders are? Are we at that point yet?
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely see, and most of the times you know who they are at the beginning of the year. It's just up to them to prove you right or wrong.
Mills, he's checked in for San Antonio. And so Paul nails both of them. Well, it's no secret, Chris, that Mike D'Antoni is an offensive-minded coach.
Well, everywhere he's gone, offense has not been the problem for his teams. He's long been regarded as the mastermind of one of the best offensive teams ever with the Suns. A lot of his assistants from those days are now head coaches in the league or in front offices.
Just 4 to shoot. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Let's pause for a moment to show you the teams that have been the best on the glass over the course of the month. The Rockets 4th.
I mean, they've taken their rebounding to another level, getting physical and playing with a ton of energy.
And so it's Houston with it. They trail by 1. Pass to Nene. Dishes to Anderson. Kicks it out to Ariza. They set the pick. Here's Gordon. It's stolen by Green, all by himself. Shot's good by Mills.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Houston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Paul dishes to Nene. Gasol with the defensive effort. San Antonio with the ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Aldridge with a screen on Ariza. And the pass to Leonard. Kicks to Gasol. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Aldridge can't get it to go.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Here's Gordon. That shot misses. Great D that time from Green.
Nah, he's really had a rough quarter on the offensive side of the floor.
Ariza against Leonard. Shoots the 3. And the rebound goes to Nene. Gets trailed by 3. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. That's his first foul. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way. And that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
I mean, you're right. A lot of wide open spaces. They were running around undefended all night.
And you know, it's interesting, the classy LaMarcus Aldridge, first drafted by Chicago, then the rights traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. You know, Greg, he was seen as a complimentary piece initially to their stars, but by the time he left, many wondered also, he's now a superstar, but could he embrace a smaller role, especially a smaller scoring role with the San Antonio Spurs?
And it shows how far he came during his time in Portland. Last season, some of the lowest minutes and points per game of his career, but he was efficient, rebounded and blocked shots at a higher clip, and he wanted a chance to compete at the highest level.
Now, here's Aldridge. He picked up 12 points in their last win against New Orleans. The 3 from Mills. They get it again. Here's Gasol. San Antonio again missing. Rockets trailed by 3. Paul passes to Anderson. And some nice passing there by Houston. Gasol with the rebound.
And you know, you can see in his eyes, he knows that is not a dunk he should have missed.
And it's Green missing.
Perfectly played defensively there. He made that a very difficult look.
The dish now to Nene. Gasol with the steal. To the middle. And Aldridge gets it to go on the assist by Mills. And the Spurs lead by 5.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
Paul outside. Here's Nene. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, it was a very disappointing 2016 for the Rockets, once again ousted by Golden State, but this time it was in the first round as an 8th seed.
Well, you can see the Rockets falling behind the rest of the West last year, and you had the feeling the season was going to be rough for them. Changing coaches in the middle of the season like they did is also a tough thing to overcome. Hard to believe that they are a year removed from playing in the Western Conference Finals.
That free throw good from Nene. Houston with a big group substitution here. And Mbahumute's checked in for Anderson. Williams comes in for Trevor Ariza. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Gordon. And it's Brown in for Chris Paul. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Lee comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Rudy Gay's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Ginobili in for Daniel Green. And so Nene nails both of them. Chris, you've been a part of some great teams that knew how to work well together as a unit. What is needed, you think, from teammates in order to make that happen?
I think you need good leaders, and good leaders are always known to be great followers. And so I think you need great chemistry. Most importantly, talent, and the talent to execute, and a coach who understands and can deliver a message and inspire. And so it's a lot of moving parts. Number one, you just have to be blessed and lucky enough to be in the right situation at the right time.
Great way to put it. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Rockets.
And they love to spread the floor with shooting. A lot of three-point attempts, and that's been the league-wide direction, and this group has been no exception.
The Rockets shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
He misses the free throw. And the Spurs organization, really the gold standard in the NBA. Greg, they just keep winning.
You have to be impressed with how they've acquired young star talent to kind of carry on that tradition. Usually when teams have their stars retire, they go through that rebuild phase. The Spurs only revamp and reload.
Good on the second free throw. San Antonio leading. Now Mills. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Gay outside. His three-pointers off the mark.
Oh, Kevin, he positioned himself perfectly and had all the room to drop that one in. Just couldn't get it to go.
Here's Williams. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene.
And looking now at some numbers for Rudy Gay, how his last 10 games have gone. He's getting around 16 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
And here's Mills. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Gay kicks to Lee. It's deflected. Brown with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Lock at 6. Back to Tucker. The shot from 20 feet away. With the tip, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Nene's got the game tied up here for Houston.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
Yeah, and those second chance points can add up.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink.
And Tucker kicks to Brown. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's Laverne. Finished off the break.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Well, of course it did. The D was nowhere to be found, and because of that, he easily sprinted down the court and got an easy bucket on that.
Now, here's Brown. San Antonio with the rebound.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Got a piece of it. 1:53 left to play in the first quarter. Williams kicks to Mbamute. Tucker dishes to Nene. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Ginobili. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Ginobili's got his first bucket of the night. And so here is Houston, trailing by 2. Brown kicks to Mbamute. A minute 20 left to play in the first quarter. Oh, and he misses the dunk. The Spurs shooting to start this game off about 41% from the floor. It's deflected. Here's Williams. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Rockets have been good at the free throw line. This one, 7 of 8. Free throw no good for Williams.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line. And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Now, here's Mbamute. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. In the corner, it's Ginobili. That 3 off the mark. Houston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Capella kicks to Brown. Back to Capella. And that misses. That would have put him up.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
The feed to Mills. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Mills has got his second basket of the game. Now here's Capella, defended by Laverne. Williams passes to Brown. Mills. And that one is off. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. It's San Antonio up by 2. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And you talk to Chris Paul, and it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been vertically challenged, so I've never had to play power forward or center on anybody's team. I've been passing and getting into the lane, dishing the ball off to a teammate, helping people score my entire career.
Vertically challenged, that's classic coming from Chris Paul. But, you know, seriously, Greg, he's taken that challenge and made the most of what he's got. A terrific play.
Really, and you know what? He's actually turned that challenge on his head when he goes right at much bigger players and uses their size against them.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
Well, they've dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, consistent pressure on the ball, taking some chances right now. The other side scrambling to adjust.
Luke Mbamute out there with Clint Capella. Then there's Gordon. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Paul in at the point guard. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Rockets. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we all know about the championships that the Spurs have won, but it's their culture that is admired around the league. Coach Popovich said, "I've been fortunate with the guys I've had come through here. My job is pretty easy when people have that character. You don't have to convince them to get over themselves or to feel responsible to each other. It makes it easier to have a team that enjoys playing together." Evan?
All right, D.A., thanks. He being modest certainly is Coach Pop. He chose the players who fit, certainly. Pau Gasol is checked in for San Antonio. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And he sinks the second.
Well, the crowning moment for the Rockets franchise history has to be their back-to-back titles in '94 and '95. Jordan was out of the league, and it was time to shine for Houston. Hakeem Olajuwon led their team to their only 2 titles in franchise history.
Now here's Parker. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Just 5 on the clock. The putback, it's good on the putback.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Rockets trail by 5. Paul outside. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2. And with the Rockets' pair of titles, what a scrappy group of teams those were. Drexler and Olajuwon were the stars, but everyone could play on their team.
Well, what is really wild about the '95 run is that the Rockets were a 6th seed. That was the lowest seeded team to ever win the NBA Finals.
Better to be lucky than good. Got that shot to fall.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. Pass to Capella. Tries from 10. No good that time. Good work defensively by Gasol. Inside, Parker. Soft touch off the glass. And now a 7-point Spurs lead.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Baamute dishes to Capella. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Spurs leading by 7. To the left side wing. Here's Aldridge. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Aldridge has got 6.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Paul kicks to Anderson. Houston moving it around. Chris Paul, and that's good. 9 points in the game so far.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
Passes to Aldridge. Here's Leonard. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, going into the 2011 draft, the Spurs said it was a tough decision to trade away George Hill in exchange for the pick that became Kawhi Leonard. No remorse on that one now, though. Once again, the Spurs struck gold as Kawhi has developed into a true superstar.
A free throw good from Kawhi Leonard. And with Kawhi Leonard, who is the high school Mr. California basketball, interesting to look, Greg, at all the things he's done. Looking back and realize he was only lightly recruited coming out of high school.
Yeah, and he committed early to San Diego State and stuck with them once the bigger schools came calling. The ankles were an issue. I think that might have caused his draft stock to fall a bit in 2011. Only ended up going 15th in that draft, but in hindsight, probably the best player from that class.
Now, here's Capella. 9-point game his last outing. Outside Ariza. And he uses the glass on the layup.
It's clear to me. Is it clear to you that Ariza feels at home in the post? I mean, just working his way inside and nailing these quality shots.
Here's Parker. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And after battling a hamstring injury a couple seasons ago, Tony Parker is stepping up his physical maintenance and preparation regimen. More stretching and warming up before games, more recovery work afterwards. He's doing what it takes to stay healthy.
And Greg, talking about Tony Parker, the current deal has him signed through 2018. Once one of the fastest players in the league. Do you think he's lost a step?
He may have, but so much experience and veteran savvy. And he knows how to keep defenders off balance, which is key. I think he's taken a page from Jason Kidd as well, working on his three-pointer to try to age more gracefully on the offensive end. And Parker just so skilled at marching his way to the stripe. He just has an endless amount of cunning moves that consistently frustrate the opposition.
That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Parker's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, after not making anything from the field in the first, I mean, he has really elevated his game this second quarter.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Chris, you had a lengthy career that spanned a decade and a half. In all your years as a player, who was the biggest trash talker that you either played with or against?
Well, I'll tell you what, Larry Bird was a big trash talker. I got a chance to play with him in Dream Team and other basketball type settings. He was one of them. you also got to go with my man GP, Gary Payton. He was a big trash talker, and I'd probably have to go with my man Larry Bird or GP. Gary Payton, 6'4" GP. I was on a plane with him one time, and he was talking trash in his sleep. So, Gary's somewhere talking right now, playing the game. So, yeah, that's Gary's style. He's the biggest trash talker I've ever met.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Now here's Parker after Eric Gordon's miss. It's good. That's now 8 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Ball against Parker. Here's Capella. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. And a look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
Paul kicks to Ariza. Will it go?
Now, this would be a totally different ball game if his shot was on target like it usually is.
Here's Parker. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That one's on Eric Gordon.
And Parker's just extremely clever at getting fouls off those kinds of shots.
San Antonio shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. The first one falls. Chris, in the NBA now, there are a great deal of power forwards who take bits and pieces of your game and add it to their own. But when you grew up, who did you model your game after?
Oh, wow. Well, growing up, I mean, it's very simple. My favorite players are the players that I modeled my game after. As a big fella, I wanted to be a ball handler, and so the best ball handler was Isaiah Thomas. I wanted to be a great passer, so I looked at Magic and Larry Bird for those areas. I wanted to score, and so I looked at Larry Bird and Dominique in those areas. Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley. That's the great part about basketball. We see greats today, but they wouldn't be as great as they are if it was not for the generation that came before them. Why? Yeah. Because you kind of know and you have a bar that you want to set, and it's hard to know how much to challenge yourself until you see that bar. And so guys setting the bar, setting those expectations, setting those goals allows for guys to work on their game and get better. So, I mean, just think in 20 years, what will guys be doing out there with the generation that we have now out there setting the table for them?
Yeah, great perspective. Here's Gasol, and Capella sends it back, and he gets it back, and they pick up 2. And that's 10 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Right side, Gordon takes a 3. Ariza no luck. Spurs leading by 12. In the corner, it's Aldridge. And yep, a couple bounces, and it falls. Aldridge has got 8 here in the quarter.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
Paul passes to Ariza. Capella dishes to Ariza. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
For the Rockets, Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. P.J. Tucker comes in for Eric Gordon. And it's Brown in for Chris Paul. Then for the Spurs, Lee comes in for Pau Gasol. And it's Mills in for Green. And Ariza isn't a guy you build a team around, Chris, but he is a solid starter in the NBA.
And he's a guy that's supposed to get more credit for his tenacity on the defensive end. His frame and defensive fundamentals allow for a lot of flexibility from his coach. He still has fast hands and is always up there in steals when the season comes to a close.
To the inside, Anderson. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Anderson's got his second bucket tonight. Here's Parker. 7 points in the game. Right side, Lee shoots from the elbow. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Timeout called, the Rockets.
And they've gotten good looks, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Well, I just think they're pressing too much, not really in the rhythm. Have to let the game come to you.
And last season we had Kobe's retirement, but in the offseason we said goodbye to another legend, the terrific Tim Duncan. Greg, there was talk he might hang it up, and he felt that he didn't have any more in him and called it a career after 19 incredible record-breaking seasons.
Yeah, and Timmy retired in the most Duncan way possible. Just quietly let it happen in the midst of the summer. No farewell tour or any of that. A big hit to the game of basketball to see one of the all-time greats walk away, but arguably one of the best two-way players to have ever played the game.
Here's Lee. It's deflected, and they're able to recover. And it's Laverne missing.
That was just textbook defense. As soon as he caught the ball, the D surrounded him.
Nene kicks to Brown. A three-pointer off the mark. San Antonio leading by 11. Takes it from 10, and Parker gets it to go. The assist by Mills. And that's now 9 points for Parker.
Well, he was off in the first, but he found a way to get his shot going here in the second.
Mills with the steal. Ginobili left side. The 10-footer. Anderson with the block. Lee. Now here's Tucker, covered by Parker. The Rockets again can't hit.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
And Mills kicks to Laverne. He feeds it to Parker. Picked by Lee. Parker drives in. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Parker's got 11.
His team is up, and he still is having a phenomenal quarter from the field. Look out.
A three from Anderson. Offensive rebound. Nene. It's in. That's his third field goal of the game. He's 3 for 5.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Now here's Mills. To the inside. Here's Laverne. And Laverne throws it down.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
And hammering down the two-hand slam. Brown right side. And the shot no good, a bit short. Spurs leading by 15. And here's Mills from the arc. A putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Lee's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Tucker the pass to Nene. Back to Tucker. He wants to get it to Nene and does. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
They did a better job of getting it inside in that first. They've lost some of that physical edge here.
And Bahamute's checked in for Houston. Rudy Gay's checked in for San Antonio. The Rockets have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far. Nene, no good on the free throw.
And he needs to get back to what he was doing in that first quarter when he was in attack mode, drawing fouls and getting to the line.
Rockets trail by 15. Outside Williams. Here's Brown. The second effort, Gay with the block.
And Gay has put a ton of work into his defense over the years. Specifically, it's how he times blocking those shots.
Shots good by Laverne. Laverne's got 8.
He's getting better looks at the basket in the second quarter after failing to get it going in the first.
To the wing on the left. To the paint. It's tipped. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession.
A moment now to see the stats for Nene. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. 13th in blocks. And don't forget, top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
San Antonio on defense. Count it. Tucker's got his second bucket of the night.
Oh, nice inbounds. You can't draw it up any better.
Spurs leading by 15. Here's Mills. Lee, a screen on Brown. And here's Mills for three.
If he can find himself out there, his team will be in fantastic shape to get this win.
Houston's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. And Baamute dishes to Nene. It's Brown on the wing. Shot clock at 6. Nene down low. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake. Gay kicks to Mills. He dishes it to Ginobili. Laverne passes to Lee. It's rebounded by Houston. Nene's got 8 rebounds in this game. And Tucker kicks to Nene. Here is Mbamute. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
He misses the free throw. That one is no good. Spurs leading by 15. Now Gay. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. From deep. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And the first half is now in the books. Spurs lead by 15. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Greg Popovich. Pop, what do you think was the key to having such a strong first half?
We played good D.
That was 4 words. Thanks, Pop. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 12 points and 1 assist. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, how about that ball movement? That was a true definition of team basketball. All 5 guys moving, all guys rotating, everyone touching the ball, a bunch of assists, tons of easy baskets. It gives everyone on the floor confidence when you're playing like that.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
The first thing to say is, what's up with the turnovers? Jeez. You can live with some missed shots and stuff like that, but you can't keep turning the ball over. It's crushing for a team. It just saps all your confidence when you play a half like that, Ernie. Ugh.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
Yeah, sound fundamentals, lots of patience that led to that efficient scoring effort.
Spurs leading by 15 on the floor for San Antonio. The defensive duo of Green and Leonard make up the perimeter. Aldridge out there with Pau Gasol, and it's Parker in at the 1 spot. They grab their own miss. Gasol, and there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. Gasol's got the first basket of the second half here for the Spurs. Gasol's gone 50% from the field, 3 of 6. Anderson the screen. Shoots off the screen. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Anderson's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And this last offseason, Pau Gasol coming over to the Spurs in free agency. It seems to be the exact kind of player that the Spurs would want on their team, especially with his basketball IQ. Pau liked the fit as well, and it didn't take long for him to join San Antonio.
And for Gasol and the Spurs, it was actually another Gasol that was prompting Pau to join the team. His brother Mark told him, go to San Antonio.
Yeah, and what is strange is that Mark is very much on a team that rivals the Spurs. So I don't think Mark was doing it just so he could battle his older brother 4 times a year. I think he meant what he said with the Spurs. They are a great organization and would probably make the best fit for Pau at the end of his career.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, LaMarcus Aldridge has overcome a lot. As a child, his home life was not easy, and he was born with a heart condition. In fact, shortly after he was born, his heart stopped, and he had to be resuscitated. But Kevin, he said, I wouldn't take back any pain that I've endured on or off the court because it's made me who I am. And Kevin, that's a story all of us can be inspired by.
Thank you, D.A.
And the continuity for the Spurs, really, it's pretty amazing. I mean, that trio of Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan, the most successful trio in the history of the NBA.
And for the Spurs, their star players have all taken less, Greg, in free agency in order to stay in San Antonio.
Yes, earning bigger markets and bigger paychecks. It's a family atmosphere in the Spurs organization. It's rare to see a single player start and finish his career with one team, much less 3 teammates.
Now here's Paul. He's got 11. Houston moving it around. From outside, off the mark. Spurs leading by 16. Green dishes to Aldridge. The layup missed.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
Well, that's just a stupendous effort by him right there. He stopped him dead in his tracks.
And it's Leonard at the elbow. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his assist totals piling up, 11 now for him. Now here's Paul. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game. Chalk up 2 there. Paul's got 4 points this quarter.
Oh, that's just a terrific way to begin this half. They are 3 for 4 and getting high percentage looks at the basket.
Parker outside. Here's Leonard. It's deflected. Here's Ariza. Oh, and the dunk by Ariza.
Well, you got to respect the fearlessness of Ariza, slamming it through in style.
Well, we're into the 3rd quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. And here is Parker. He's got 12. Here's Leonard. And it's blocked. Paul with the ball. Anderson the screen. Paul passes to Anderson for the 3. Ariza with another miss.
Oh, man, his form seems rushed today, like he's trying to get rid of the ball as soon as he gets it. That's why barely anything is going in for him.
Tries again. Gasol's shot is good. Gasol's got 10.
And really, Gasol just never stops attacking the boards, just utterly relentless at pounding the glass.
One thing that Greg is often underappreciated about Pau Gasol is just how aware he is out on the floor, not only on the defensive end, with how he'll help out, but also his vision as a passer on the offensive side.
Really, Kevin, one of the best passing bigs to ever play the game, and it's a part of why he's been the crux of so many offenses. Very good at identifying and exploiting a mismatch for himself or others. Never forces things on offense and always takes what the team's given.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Paul outside. The kick out to Anderson. Ariza has the open look. Another miss by Houston.
Shocking, he bricked that one. That shot usually is money for him.
And it's slammed in by Ariza.
And the way Ariza uses his limb to get to the basket is just sensational, just tirelessly attacking the rim.
Ball against Parker. Aldridge left side. That one no good. And it's Houston the other way. Ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
The tendency can be to really rush or push the game. They need to avoid that.
And the dunk by Capella.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. Now here's Leonard. He's got 14. To the wing on the left. Gasol kicks to Aldridge. And it goes down 2 points. 14 points for him.
I mean, on offense, he has been a constant force. You get him the ball, and there's a good chance he's going to knock that shot down.
Parker against Paul. Now here's Capella. D right on him. Rejected by Gasol.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection.
Five on the clock. Anderson dishes to Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
And way to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. San Antonio leading by 12. Now here's Parker. 12 points for him. He kicks to Leonard. From 10 feet out, Gasol. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And the long arms of Gasol wreaking havoc on the D. They don't know what to do with him when he's going up with a shot like that.
And these are his second and third free throws tonight.
And this season, he's maintained very good form at the line, shooting at about an 83% clip.
And the first one drops.
Look at this Rockets team. As impressive as they are on the offensive end, they do have their weak spots. One big one is rebounding and closing out possessions. They just give up way too many second chance looks.
Gasol hits them both. And the rebounding problems of the Rockets, Chris, makes a lot of sense with their lineups. They often will go small at the forward positions for stretches of time.
Well, that's their weakness, and that's the part where they can fall behind with rebounding. A lot of it is that they get out of position too often. Rebounding is one reason why they can falter defensively for long stretches at a time.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Parker outside. Puts it up from 17. Kept alive. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Rockets trail by 16. Paul kicks to Capella. Back to Paul. San Antonio with the rebound. Gasol's got 15 rebounds here tonight. Leonard with no one around. And it's Leonard again missing.
A frustrating start to this quarter for him.
14 feet away. And that one goes long. Spurs leading by 16. Feeds it to Parker. From the arc. Another miss by Leonard.
Well, after hitting a couple in the first, he has cooled down a bit here.
In the corner, it's Gordon. Shoots from 14. That doesn't go either for Gordon. San Antonio's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Offensive rebound. It's tipped. Ariza outside. Leonard with the steal. Parker against Paul. In the corner, it's Aldridge. To the inside, Leonard. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. Aldridge has got 4 assists in the game. Now a timeout called by Houston. Last time they met was right here, and they came out with the win.
And they did win that last game in this matchup, and it seemed they got the benefit of the whistle.
And the Rockets have a big fan base in Texas and the surrounding area. There's no doubt. But they also, Chris, have one of the biggest fan bases overseas.
I mean, well, let's be honest. The reasoning for the huge Chinese following, of course, was Yao Ming. Yao was not only an incredible player, but a huge ambassador for the sport and the Rockets. Amazing that his impact and fandom still can be found with the Rockets, even years after his retirement.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Mbah-a-Moute's checked in for Anderson. Williams comes in for Trevor Ariza. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Gordon. And it's Brown in for Chris Paul. Here's Mills. The Rockets making the shot. Picked by Lee. Here's Mills. Lee, a screen on Brown. Gay outside, beyond the arc. It's not going to go for him. Rockets trail by 16. Brown kicks to Williams. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. The Spurs shooting pretty terrible here in the third quarter at around 30%. Mills passes to Lee. Dishes it to Laverne. To the left wing. And Mills kicks to Lee. The teardrop falls in. Lee's got 6 points.
That's an aggressive approach to the rack, but still he calmly floated it in.
And for the Rockets, they're shooting 47% from the field in the third. And there's Brown. That's good on the assist from Tucker.
Good things come to those who go inside the paint.
Spurs leading by 16. And Mills kicks to Gay. And he's good on the 3-ball. 5 points in the game.
Oh, come on. You have to commend the way Gay sees the floor, especially how he sees available space off of picks and capitalizes.
Now here's Williams. Pass to Capella. It's deflected.
Out of bounds.
And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Oh, great resolve there on defense, allowing nothing easy.
Here's Brown off the inbound pass. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And the Spurs with possession. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. They're off to battle the Clippers after this game, as they'll be playing at the Staples Center. That matchup falls in the middle game of this three-game trip.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
Rockets trail by 19. On the wing, Williams. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
Shooting for Houston, Williams. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Spurs leading by 17. It's stolen by Brown. And it's Houston on the break. And here we go. Well, folks, tonight a great rebounding game we're watching in progress. And now, with that in mind, let's take a look at the all-time record for rebounds in a single game. How about Wilt Chamberlain with 55 rebounds back on November 24th, 1960.
And guys, that's one of those records that always seemed to me impossible to break. I mean, in the modern era, nobody's even sniffed that 55 rebound mark. I mean, heck, a lot of teams don't get 55 rebounds in a game, and Wilt's owned it since 1960.
And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Nobody near Gay. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Oh, and if you were the defense, you have to be right in the jersey of Gay. A knockdown threat on the catch and shoot. Now, one thing you have to appreciate about Rudy Gay is just how fearless he plays on the floor. He goes right at defenders and loves to finish with a dunk. He's very aggressive in every aspect of his game, from offense to defense. Beautiful lead pass. The finisher never has to break stride.
Ginobili outside. Back to Lee. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Lee sets a screen for Gay. Pulls up on the elbow. Off the left rim and out. And with Gay being so aggressive, Chris, with this play, you see it in all sorts of places, like his defense.
Well, Kevin, perhaps the biggest place you'll see this fearless mindset is in late game situations. He has hit a lot of late game winners and clutch shots in his career. Not always perfect, but he is never afraid to take the last shot.
And so it's San Antonio with it. The Rockets making the shot. Mills with it, picked up by Brown. Lee, a screen on Williams. Kicks to Mills. Here's the 3. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Brown dishes to Mbah-a-Moute. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Well, also a miscommunication on defense. No one rotates over. See ya.
Now, here's Laverne. He's got 8. Shot clock at 6. And here's Mills for 3. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 5th rebound in this one. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to 12 on the bucket from Mbah-a-Moute. Now Gay. 11 points in the game. Lets the 3 fly. The shot missing. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Spurs out in front. They lead by 12. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the 4th quarter. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
But don't stop the aggressiveness. Here we go. You got shots, let them fly.
And that's the thing about Greg Popovich. As long as you're taking good shots, he doesn't want you to hesitate. He doesn't want you to stop.
Well, and the offense is designed to create opportunities. So if you pass up the opportunity, you're kind of defeating the whole purpose of the exercise.
And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Rockets trail by 12. They've got Trevor Ariza. Gordon is out there with Paul. Then there's Nene. And it's Anderson in at the power forward position. That's the 5 for Houston right now. And the shot's good from Nene.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Gay sets the pick for Ginobili. Gay outside. There's the pass to Gasol. And that one hits back iron.
The defense got super lucky there because he does not miss many of those.
Paul with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. Paul passes to Nene. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. San Antonio leading by 10. And Ginobili wide open. He shoots. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist.
And they clearly are just destroying this group right now from the 3-point line.
They're taking any look they can get from there and just making it rain from the perimeter right now.
And it's good. Off through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
San Antonio making a switch here. Aldridge is checked in. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Ball against Ginobili. The dish to Gasol. It's stolen by Green. Offensive rebound. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact here. Free throw missing.
And missing opportunities here to extend that lead at the free throw line this half.
And he sinks the second. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Paul kicks to Anderson. Outside Gordon. He tries for 3. The shot no good. So the Spurs will take it the other way.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Leonard. That falls. Nice feed that time from Manu Ginobili. And the Spurs lead by 13.
And just a little bit ragged defensively.
Well, somebody needs to wake them up and tell them they need to put forth a much better effort on D if they want to get back in this one.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And we see the growth of the three-point shooting big man, the stretch 4, if you will. Ryan Anderson was at the forefront, it seems, of that movement.
Yeah, especially at his volume of threes. He's never been just a secondary floor spacer. He's a go-to scoring threat with his outside shooting.
Now, here's Green. Ginobili kicks to Aldridge. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Nene.
Clearly a foul.
And as usual, he's the one directing traffic out there, guys.
And guys, he always has such a firm grasp of exactly what the game plan is. He's always talking, making sure that all 5 guys are on the same page.
The first free throw is good. And so LaMarcus Aldridge nails them both.
Well, he didn't really make a concerted effort in the first to get some free throws, but now all that has changed. Much more active.
Ginobili against Paul. Leans, and Gasol sends it back. Ginobili kicks to Gasol. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. The 10-footer. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Aldridge has got 5 points now this quarter.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
Anderson, a screen on Ginobili. Off the pick. And Anderson slams it in.
And cutting into the lead with the big one-hand throwdown.
That's how you get your team back into it. Okay, time now for an injury report. Let's find out the news on Tony Parker. David, what's the update there?
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for the Spurs gave us some info. Unfortunately, it sounds like a very serious injury. Of course, the schedule is getting extremely demanding at this time of the season, and that injury is only going to make things worse. Kevin?
David, thanks for the great update, guys. It doesn't sound good.
No, if that report is accurate, he's going to be spending a lot of time in rehab and on the sidelines.
Yeah, and given how hard he's worked, you know how frustrated he must be. Difficult blow to overcome for him and for his team.
The free throw drops for Aldridge. Tony Parker's checked in for the Spurs. And good on the second, so he makes them both. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Here's Gordon, and the layup's good off the glass.
Where is the rim protection? Embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Parker kicks to Green. Now the feed to Parker. Here's Gasol. The Rockets pull it in. As their comeback bid had better get started.
I don't know, guys. It's going to take a pretty big run to get back in this one.
Here's Leonard. Another shot. A nice shot by Gasol. Gasol's got 10 points in just the second half.
What a total 180-degree turn here. He wasn't making anything in the first half, but he looks like a totally different player now in the second half.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Shooting for Houston, Eric Gordon. At the line for two.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Gordon. Spurs leading by 14. Parker outside. Leonard on the wing. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. 20 points for Leonard.
I mean, he was great in his last game. Clearly, he has not lost that love and feel.
Not at all. You can tell his confidence is really soaring as a result. He wants the ball in his hands any chance he can get it.
Now Parker, following Chris Paul's three-point attempt. Parker dishes to Leonard. Tries from 10. Another miss by Leonard. Houston's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Here's Anderson. Kicks it to Nene. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here. It's getting harder and harder to become an NBA owner. Franchise values are skyrocketing. The league, Chris, as you know, has set limits on how many minority owners a team can have. 25 per team is the number. They each have to own at least 1%.
Well, you know, there's only 30 of them, and the chance to make your impact on a franchise is just tremendously exciting. You know, we've seen in the past years where ownership groups could become very fragmented, so I definitely understand that train of thought.
Great perspective. And he misses the third. Spurs leading by 15. Outside Green. Right side Gasol, 11 feet away. And the rebound goes to Nene. Nene's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Count that bucket. Anderson's got 7 points for the quarter.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you think his team would have the lead.
Parker against Paul. Goes back up. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
First one falls for him.
2 shots.
And so LaMarcus Aldridge nails them both. Rockets trail by 15. And here is Paul. They set the pick. Ariza kicks to Anderson and finished off by Anderson.
Oh, up high and down hard with that one-hander.
He got a little extra forceful. You're right with that one. Parker outside. Outside, Green. 6 to shoot. From deep. The shot misses. Gordon with the defensive effort. Pass to Paul. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. Parker against Paul. Got a piece of it. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Spurs leading by 13. Parker outside. Passes it to Leonard. Takes the 13-footer. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Leonard's got 10 points here in the second half. Paul outside, down low. Nice move. And Nene with the lay-in, good.
And how about the bounce pass there being used to perfection?
The Spurs have gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. Green, the screen. 16 feet away. Aldridge, no luck.
You were shocked when he misses open shots like that. The D should be thanking their lucky stars right now.
Here's Ariza. Rejected by Gasol. And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here. A shot by Paul, nobody around. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Paul's got 6 here in this quarter. Spurs leading by 10. On the wing, Green. He feeds it to Leonard. From 8, and Aldridge the basket on the assist from Leonard. Leonard's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Oh, he has owned this quarter. Everything he is throwing up is falling right now.
Now here's Paul. He dishes it to Ariza. Anderson with the ball. He kicks it to Paul. 5 on the clock. Ariza goes in, and he comes up with the deuce.
I mean, just amazing focus from Ariza. Despite the contact, he nails these shots off the drive constantly.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Parker up top, defended by Paul. Parker kicks to Aldridge. And it's good on the assist by Parker. And it's 29 points for Aldridge.
Oh, he's been basically perfect so far in this quarter, especially on offense.
Paul against Parker. Anderson a screen on Parker. Leonard with the steal. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
Just a great playmaking sequence by Parker there, coming away with the assist.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Nice game, great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, but they better talk about him because he's really attacked them down inside. They haven't been able to stop him.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni was talking about with his team. He was not happy with their play. He told them, we're getting outworked out there. Simple as that. We've got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Okay, David, thanks. Now here's Paul. Second shot opportunity. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Oh, you love how physical Ariza is, just attacking the D and earning the call in the process. Kev, whenever I see Trevor Ariza out there, I can't help but think of how he came into the spotlight. He went from being a role player early to becoming a major part of teams after his stint with the Lakers. He said he learned a lot from playing with Kobe.
First free throw is good. And with Ariza, part of his progression was natural, but he knows that he made a huge jump after he played with Kobe in L.A.
Well, I thought his quote about playing against Kobe was great. I mean, he said, the first time I played against Kobe, he scored 40 on me. The last time I guarded him, he scored 35, so I guess I got a little bit better. You know what? Great sense of humor. Just glad to see it.
Spurs leading by 12. Now here's Parker. Spurs working the ball around now. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. Aldridge has got 5 assists tonight.
And as soon as Parker catches the ball, he immediately rises up and pulls the trigger. Love to see the confidence on display there.
Paul with the 3, and another field goal in his total. Make it 7 for 14, shooting 50%.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
This is a shooter's dream. They are really letting the outside shot fly.
Now here's Parker. Here's Aldridge. Stolen by Nene. Paul with the ball. Picked up by Aldridge. Here's Nene. Some solid defense from Gasol. San Antonio's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Inside, here's Aldridge. Some solid defense there by Nene. And it's Houston on the break. Goes back up. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. He's off on the first. He hits the second from the line.
And every point is critical now. You can't afford to let these opportunities pass you by.
Green, the pass to Parker. Outside Aldridge. Green up on top. Defended by Gordon. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And for Houston, they're shooting at 46%, making some buckets. Anderson. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Paul for 3. Knocks it loose. Tries to keep it alive. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. A different look now for San Antonio. And San Antonio has possession. They led the game at one point by 20. He in the corner from past the arc. The Spurs rebound.
Yeah, just nice hustle there. That work gets them the extra possession.
Lee, a screen on Williams. Back to Lee. The 3 from Mills. Good on the triple. And the Spurs lead by 14.
Well, guys, they came in here and really took charge from the opening tip. This is such a tough thing to do for a visiting team. This contest was played on their turn.
Well, that's just tremendous work by them in setting the pace of the game to their favor and maintaining that throughout the game.
Shooting for Houston, at the line for 2.
And the first one at the line is good. That misses, so he splits the free throws. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, pal. Congrats on the win. How satisfied are you with the way you guys played?
It's satisfying just because we got another great win. And the way we've been playing lately, I think it's just been great, and we just got to keep the momentum going.
All right, pal. Great win tonight. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next time. But first, the post-game show with Ernie Johnson just a few aisles above us.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, seen here. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, LaMarcus Aldridge. He lit up the scoreboard in the fourth. Guys were scrambling around trying to match up with him. He was in too much of a groove to be messed with.
LaMarcus Aldridge was a beast tonight. I don't care if he's on the low block or the high block, on the elbow, shooting threes. He has a versatility to his game that most power forwards don't.
Well, Ernie, reminds me of myself. He loves being the bad guy, and he was a great villain tonight. Just sticking it to those fans. Anytime they got on his case, he stepped up and hit a big shot after big shot. Fantastic performance in a very tough environment.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.